Good morning, and welcome to the 39th CALLERLAB Convention in Nashville. Today is April 2nd, and this is the Harmony session. I am Wade Driver, and your panelists today are Elmer Sheffield and the Ghost, and Tony Oxendine, and Tony's on the way, all right? So is that what I'm required? Am I done with that? Good. We're glad to have you here. And this is, I suppose, let me start this thing off. Can I sit down? I don't know. I'm getting old. Not as old as you, but I'm getting old. How many of you guys sing harmony? Thirds, fifths, sevenths, and ninths? Lie. How many of you don't and would like to? All right. Let me think about singing harmony. You know, it takes a couple of things. First of all, you have to have tone awareness or pitch awareness. And if you, I don't have a piano here, but basically your harmonics if you write chord structures, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, your harmony structures, 1 is your main level, 3, 5, 7, and 9 are your harmonics. And they supposedly run. Now, there's lots of variations of other stuff. I'm not nearly smart enough to know that. And I'm not nearly good enough to sing them all. But in addition to having pitch awareness, you must have tone awareness. For example, probably if really pushed, I can sing all the notes. Sound terrible doing it. All right? Because I do not have a tenor type voice. And that's one of the things that are required. All right? Now, don't you love it? I miss you, sweetie. You're younger. It used to be young. It's only younger nowadays. But anyway, and of course, as you all know, Tony's one of the best in the business because he does have tone variation. Now, many years ago, Tony and I used to have a tour we did together, and 99% of the time I'd sing melody, he sang tenor. And every once in a while we'd flip-flop, and it's okay, and it's accurate, but it's not best. And what you're going to try to strive for if you're going to do harmony is your best sound you can come out with. Now, before Tony gets on, I'm going to do the lead in and say, here's Tony. All right? But what you're looking for is, how many of you have been hot air ballooning? Anybody been hot air ballooning? Are you familiar with the term contouring? If you're in the mountains or wherever you are, you set yourself like 30 or 40 feet above the ground, and you stay that height no matter what the ground does. If it goes up 5,000 feet, you go up 5,000, you go up with it, and you contour the mountains. Harmony is the same way. You contour. If your lead singer is singing on one, if whatever he goes, you stay the same distance apart or above or below that lead singer, all right? Now, it all sounds easy, but it ain't, all right? And it ain't. That's Georgia for it isn't. All right? You there? Anyway, hey, listen, South Carolina ain't that far from Georgia, son. Anyway, and so your difficulty in harmony depends on the difficulty in melody. All right? If you do good old gospel harmonies, three chord, 3-part harmony, it's not tough, and this is why bluegrass singers and gospel singers really sound tight harmony, because you don't have a really difficult melody to follow. You sing the major, and then you go up, and that way it's a little easier. Some of the songs, we start doing pop tunes, and it gets to be difficult. Okay? And you plugged in, what all you got on here? Fine one. I don't care. I look at something that's gospel. I'll Fly Away. Do you got I'll Fly? All right. Anyway, and this is a typical, because it's, now, what is amazing to me is that if you ever follow different groups, it's always the guy singing melody that thinks he's a prima donna, and that's not what sells it. I'm laughing right now at Ronnie Dunn. Have you heard him singing without Brooks? Is my comment on that, all right? All right. The Bellamy brothers, thank God they're brothers, because I don't think David would sound anywhere even close to what he does without Ralph, all right? It's that they get a mix when you work together, and that harmonizer is what sells the song, right? And this is a demonstration of, it's only 3 notes on I'll Fly Away gospel. You got a mic? Now, old lady's chain, turn the girl right now, roll away. You do whatever you want to do in the part. He hits the harmony part. Join hands, circle left, go around it, go. Left alley, man. You gonna do a third? I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. Let's go and do this one. You do the third, you do the fifth.
Okay.
All right? I need a microphone. They never heard a three-part harmony? Hello? I guess not. How loud are you, Junior?
I'll sing with Wade.
There you go. Get over here.
He said he'd sing with Wade.
No kissing.
Use that one. That one's hotter. Let's give Junior this one. Let's use that.
All right, good. All right.
There we go.
Mine, have yourself. He told him we couldn't catch it again. Poor ladies promenade to go off inside the ring. Back call out. I don't know, because he's going to do, because I'm going to do the lead. He's going to do the third, you're going to do the fifth. All right? You want to do the lead? All right. What was that again?
I said, I think I'll do the lead.
That works for me. Here we go. Yeah.
Hard to get good help, I'll tell you.
It is.
Here we go, guys. We're all organized now.
Let her rip, Tatership.
Well, for the ladies promenade inside that old ring down. Run back and give your man a big old swing. Join in the circle, go walking along to a animated corner wheel ring. Well, I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away in the morning, and when I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away.
Now, that's all we're talking about, really. And if you get on a piano, whatever, you hit 1, 3, 5, 7, any of those work. Now, the difference thing is some people can feel it well and some people can't. And that, same old, 10% learning, 90% practice. Now, let me read that. 2% learning, 98% practice. And that's what you got to do. And anyway, now, just to show you, you got, on the road 11 again? No. Let's see how you are. How about have to say I love you? That'll work.
You want something with 3?
That was something with 3, yeah.
I can do that.
No, a difficult melody.
A difficult melody.
Yes.
And with 3 parts.
Preferably.
Wow.
How about that crochet tune? That crochet tune, I have to say I love you. That's yours. I have to say I love you in a love song.
You do that one, Elmer?
And I have to. Okay, then don't list.
All right, wait.
How about humming? That's good.
That's easy.
Oh, that's an easy one. That's right. That's okay. All right. Now.
It's okay. This is one of my examples. You steal my thunder. Go for it.
But this is the one from on the Chinook. This is a good one. Good. So, but you still got vocals already on there, right? Okay. The reason I was going to say is sometimes you get a record that's already got backup harmony on there, and it kind of will stack it. This is you put it out both ways, right? Just what you didn't put your backup harmony. Golly, I'll talk to you about that. Oh, so we're starting again. But the real good ones do. Oh, that's with you. All right, let it go. Here we go. Circle. I'm tired of living in this one-horse town. Tired coming bird down. Alabama left. Don't see your own. Left down manic.
Gonna make my name. Swing that girl and promenade. I'm gonna ride that hummingbird.
That's all there is to it. All right.
Tough group.
That's what you got to do to learn. No. Let me tell you what. I can't tell you the miles 20 minute drive down the road trying to harmonize. If it hurts, it's wrong. I'm tired of living in this one horse. Cause you never hummingbird down. Left down is your song. Come and don't see your own. Do it, Alabama. Left that corner. Weave you gone.
I'm off to the city, gonna make my name. Swing a little girl promenade that ring, you gotta ride that hummingbird. I'm off to the city, gonna make my name. Swing and promenade, I'm gonna ride. Come on, Tony. Well,
I'm tired of living in this one-horse town. Went to the station, flagged that hummingbird down. Now the man that corner do side do around your own. Now the man that corner girl in the wheel the ring. I'm off to the city, gonna make my name. Swing and promenade,
I'm gonna ride.
Ride that hummingbird.
There you go. All right. And now that I've said my piece, here's Tony.
This is a real learning experience.
That's the way we learn most of them. You know, and I'll tell you what, one of the hardest things to find in the world is somebody that can sing the lead. Everybody thinks they can sing harmony. It's been my experience that 90% of the callers around cannot. Don't take offense. There's a difference in singing high and singing a harmonic note. Most callers sing high or low. It's even worse when the guys think they can sing bass, and then it's just singing low. And if it's not a harmonic blend, if it's not a true bass note, it's not going to blend with the other harmonies. It's fine if only two people are singing, and one person is singing the lead, and the other person sings a harmonic of some type, low or high. Then two people can blend. It doesn't have to be a true tenor, a true baritone, or a true bass. But when more than two voices get involved, then the parts have to be true. The person singing the tenor has to sing a true tenor so that the person singing the baritone can sing a true baritone and true bass. One of the hardest things in the world is find somebody that can take the lead note and sing it and stay there, because what happens a lot of times is the person singing the lead tends to jump and follow the person. They hear this other note in their head, and they jump to that note, and it's steady up and down. You know, you got to bring them down. So bear that in mind. If you are going to sing harmonies with someone, and let me preface this whole thing. Maybe Wade can or Junior can. I cannot, nor do I know anyone that can teach anybody harmony. If you came here hoping to learn harmony, I think you're going to leave a little disappointed, because you can't teach it. You can hear it. And if you can hear it, you can sing it. If you can't hear it, you can't sing it. For instance, I hear the tenor note when the lead is singing. In my head, I hear the tenor note. I cannot hear the baritone. I can hear the baritone note if someone is singing tenor. Then I hear the baritone, and I can sing the baritone. I cannot sing baritone if somebody's singing the lead, because I don't hear it. And those are two completely different type notes. Bear that in mind. Second thing, two male voices singing together in unison, singing the same notes, generally doesn't sound good. When in doubt, you know, the harmony is called backup for a reason. If in doubt, back up and make your voice a little bit softer. And the reason two guys singing lead don't sound real good is because of the difference in the registers and the tones of your voice. Not that neither one of you can sing. It's just that oftentimes two voices in different registers give what we call a harmonic discord, which means essentially in music it sounds really bad, really bad. So when in doubt, if you cannot sing some type of harmonic note with the person that you're singing with, be careful and sing softly. Last night, there were a couple of instances.
Yeah, sometimes it's just works real well if you just turn your mic off.
Well, I was going to say, there were a couple of instances last night that I did that. I said, okay, we're going to sound bad. It ain't going to be my fault. But like I say, the harmonic, it's a backup for a reason. A lot of guys I hear that sing really nice harmony sing so loud that they overshadow the lead. And what you don't want to hear is a harmonic note as the primary note, because it clashes with the rest of the tune, because it's there to blend with another part. If you hear that as the primary part, it's going to sound like it's off pitch when you really may be actually singing a nice tune. I hear guys all the time, a lot of times, so many times I can't even think about. They'll be singing the lead really nice, everything's going good, and they'll come to one part and they'll just jump to a harmonic note, some high thing. And it just, to me, it completely destroys the feeling of the song. It's even worse if you're singing with somebody. If you are going to sing with somebody, the best thing we can have in the world is a strong lead singer. Elmer's one of the strongest lead singers we have. Darryl McMillan is another one that I'd never have to worry if I'm singing with either one of those guys. They don't listen to me. I can do whatever I want as a harmonic. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a tenor or a baritone. It can be other noises, because if you guys ever go out and publish and buy the Caller Coach Manual, there's a big section on music. And it says that music's divided into 3 parts. There's lead, there's rhythm, and then there's harmony. And harmony to me is the most important thing, because harmony is everything that's not lead or rhythm. So it could be drums, it could be vocals, it could be whistling, it could be humming, it could be ephing, whatever you wanted it to be, as long as it blends. That's the key, that it has to blend. When you have more than 2 people sharing the mic, if 2 of you are singing lead and the other one is singing anything, it's going to sound bad. So be careful when 3 of you guys work together, or 3 of you girls. The only thing worse than 2 men singing lead together is a man and a woman singing lead together, because then the registers of their voices are so vastly different that it sounds like both of them are flat. It's been my experience that typically male lead with a female harmonic blends better to our ears and square dance stuff than the reverse, than the lady singing lead and the male singing the harmonic. Typically, the women's voices are higher. They're able to sing an alto, which is a female baritone, and it blends very nice with a male voice. And then the women don't have to sing in their face voice, in their upper register, to make it sound so high. Because sometimes with the equipment that we use, the female voice, if it's in a high register, really comes across as shrill. So be very careful with that. Yes. Yes. Yes.
One thing you might bear in mind, if you are going to harmonize with a female, most of the time, that's assuming the female sings in, like Tony said, the face voice, learn to sing baritone, because you're going to fit better with, if she's got to sing the lead, then leave her be. If you go above, it's not going to, but if you go below it, you can fake it. It'll come out all right.
It's also been my experience that if you're working with more than one caller, 2 callers, 3 callers, that if you have a person that sings a very good lead, let him sing the lead the whole time. If you have someone that can do the harmonics the whole time. I would much rather find somebody that can sing the lead and keep it. Because what's very hard is to start off singing the lead, like in the middle break and you're singing the lead, and then on the chorus line you have to jump to a part. It's very hard to jump to the part. So as a general rule, if you can sing the lead, stay there. If you can find a guy that can sing the harmony, do it. Because like I say, 99 out of 100 of you guys, and of that who cannot sing harmony, who cannot sing true tenor, true baritone, 99% of you guys, of that 99% of you think you actually can. And you really need to tape yourself so that you can actually hear because I've taped listen, you want to hear something that sounds really bad, go to the studio and you're recording a record, and you sing with the music and everything sounded good, and then they turn the music all the way off and you've got nothing but this voice. And you hear bad notes that you've never heard in your life.
I remember Tony and I we recorded the trilogy in New Orleans.
Oh, gosh.
We had a ceremonial burning.
Yes.
That's the worst thing ever. But when we sobered up the next day, listen, it was so bad. It was awful.
Wade just reminded me of something. Years ago, he came into Tallahassee, and we called a dance together. And how many of you remember the old record on hi-hat that was called Cowboy? And the very last note you broke your voice on that. Well, we decided we'd do harmony on that. Sure enough, we built up to it. We had the dancers just going, and we looked at each other and smiled. We hit that note. He was about 6 inches flat, and I was about 10 inches flat. Sweat was running off of both of us, and we couldn't wait to get off the stage. And, of course, the dancers are, oh, man, that was great. Oh, man, what a bunch of liars. But that's the worst harmony, really, we ever did. What Tony's saying, and I'll back this up, too. So I'm not a harmony singer, believe me. And of course, we're cutting up a little bit here today. and I enjoy singing the leads. But sometimes when you're singing with somebody and the guy starts out and he says, I'm going to do the harmony. Well, you get started and before long he's following you and he's kind of getting down, trying to get on your note. And if you change notes, he tries to change notes and it just really don't sound real good. So I've done like Tony sometimes. If I call with somebody and he wants to say, he'll say, you do the harmony. I say, oh, sure. Okay. So we get started and I just turn my mic off and he just sings away and then nobody hears what I'm saying.
You can bet that if there's ever more than 3 guys on the stage and I'm up there, if there's 3 guys singing, I got my microphone off. Because it's very hard to find guys that can sing true parts. And as I said earlier, if you're going to have more than 2 guys or girls singing together, the parts have to be true. Somebody's got to be singing a true baritone, a true lead, a true bass, and a true tenor. If it's not true, the voices are not going to blend. And like I say, I cut my mic off because I'm thinking, okay, we're going to sound terrible, but it ain't going to be because of me. So be very, very careful because I've had, God, how many times have we, and I call it clustering. And, when you get 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 callers on the stage and everybody's trying to sing better and louder than the guy before him or the guy with him. It's much better to have one guy in the forefront. You look, with the exception of quartets, guys, like the Oak Ridge and the Statlers, they stand up there together. But typically, you've got the lead singer in the front and the background singers in the back. And that's the way it was kind of designed, and it works best that way. You don't have to physically stand behind them, but you need to vocally be behind them so that the harmony that you're singing blends. It backs up and supports the lead. So you're saying
one thing. That does not mean, however, that the backup singers are any less important than that lead singer.
Absolutely. And let me give you an example. And I'm going to give you an example of 4 parts, so that you can hear a lead, tenor. I'm going to give you an example of 3 parts: lead, tenor, and baritone together in a blend. If you like singing parts, sometimes you might want to just sing with yourself. And so here's an example of 3 parts supporting the lead in one song. Cut me down just a tad, Luke. Give me a little bit more than that. Now this is me singing with me, singing with me. It's a lot of work. You got to come back and put it on and then come back and do it again. But the result is kind of neat. If the record isn't done that way initially, you can do it yourself. And here's the Weave the Ring line. Allemande left, can you weave the ring? Singing sweet country music. Swing the girl and you promenade her home. We're singing sweet country music and breathing that good old mountain air. Now, the neat thing about singing with yourself is that your register is perfect. My register with myself, no matter what part I'm singing, my register is always going to sound nice. And it's really nice when you get sweet. And that's just the harmony parts. And breathing that good old mountain air. Swinger, sweet country music. Sides, face, grand, square. Sweet country music. Breathing that good old mountain air. I'm singing sweet country music. Makes me wish that I was there. Now, not being a professional singer, my voice with me sounds a lot better than now you can go to the studio and get professional singers and they sound good with anybody. Here's one with semi-professional singers on rhythm that I really, really like. And one of the things I like about this is it's got some background vocals supporting me. Okay? And there's every night. It's an Eagles tune. And everybody know the song, Best of My Love? Listen to the middle break. Coming apart at the seams. Here's the vocals. We try to talk it over, but the words came out too rough. There's a lady, somebody singing alto. There's a tenor and there's a baritone. If that was a lady, it would be a soprano and an alto. Backing me up on that. Now that just gives fullness to my voice that I would normally have. So I look for songs that have that kind of thing in it to back me up vocally. And I'm like all of you. I think I'm a really good singer. And unfortunately, we all think we're really good singers, and we're probably not quite as good as we think we are. So anytime I can get some help, I look for help. that in mind, here's a girl singer that's just really neat. And this one adds something to the song. Side space, grand square. Everybody, have you heard? Now, I want to show you two things. I want to show you a harmonic blend, but I also want to show you a harmonic syncopation. I'm going to sing the lead. Anna Johansson from Sweden is singing the female counterpart. She's singing an alto. But I'm not going to sing with her. I'm going to sing kind of around her. Okay? So I won't be singing the exact same time she's singing, and it adds a whole new effect to it. You can get this. This is Royal Records, number something. Let me start it over here. All right. Long intro. Side space, grand square. Everybody, have you heard? I'm gonna buy her a mockingbird. If that mockingbird don't sing, I'm gonna buy her alum and a left and weaver ring. If that diamond ring don't shine, it's gonna break this heart of mine, and that's why, yes indeed-o. That adds a whole new effect to it. Now, you don't always find ones like that, so sometimes you got to look for them like that. Would you help me, boys? One of you help me with this one? Now, here's a situation where you have the ability to sing two songs at the same time, and it blends. Now, here's something neat, because this particular song here, you can two leads blend and a lead tenor blend. So if you got two guys and neither one of you can sing parts, this is a really nice one for two guys to do, or two girls, a guy and a girl, to do together, and you don't have to worry about the parts. All you got to do is worry about the tune. One of the tunes is Play Me Some Rag, and the other one is not.
I'm going to sing slow because I'm old.
You're going to sing slow?
I'm old.
All right. I'll sing fast. And I'll sing tenor at first, and I'll go to the lead and we'll go see what happens. Side space, grand square. Musical dancing.
You play a simple
Come on and play me some
melody.
Just change that classical nag
Like my mother
to some sweet musical track.
Alum and a left and a weather
And if you can play from a copy of a tune that's
old-fashioned
swing promenade. That is simply because, and if you work together a lot, you can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Head square through in the middle, then you get forehand around. We make the right hand star, 2, 3, 4. Head star, left in the middle, then you roll it around. The same two, get a right on left two, and a turn them around. Why don't you swing to it, and then why don't you swing to it again? You're gonna swing and promenade, and that is simply because I love to listen to rag. And that's a neat way to do so. And you don't need to sing the parts. You could actually both sing lead. And you can also sing 3 parts on that one. And the best sale about that song is just what he said. You come up, you're working together if you want to, and part of doing a song, guys, is selling it. And if you want to sell the song, come up and you say, okay, we're going to do this one, right? We're going to do this Play Me Some Rag song. And you say, no. Elmer said, no, I don't like that song. Not going to do it. And I said, no, we're going to do Play Me Some Rag. No, I don't like it. I don't like it, and I won't do it. I said, Elmer, just sing whatever you want to sing.
It gets deeper.
Just sing whatever you want to sing, and I'll just come in there. And it adds a whole new dimension. You sold the song. You're making the people like it before you ever even start. And now you've got a way to sing harmony with one another and not have to sing parts. And oftentimes there are other tunes. Some tunes are made for guys to sing together. So many times I work with callers. I just did, back in July, I did the Illinois State Convention. And they did one of the neatest things of any state convention I've been to. On the Sunday, and all the Illinois callers were there, and we worked, I would work in one hall on Friday and Saturday, and all of them would work all the other halls. There was a bunch of halls. But on Sunday, everybody got together in one hall, and I got to sing with every swinging caller that was there. Sometimes it was really, really good. Sometimes it wasn't. It was always fun. But some callers just pick tunes that there's no way you can work with. You got to find tunes that lend themselves to singing harmony, just for two guys to sing together. Like Wade said earlier, sometimes the leads in some of the songs are so up and down and around and about that you really can't follow them. So what you got to do is have a backlog of old classics: Mountain Music, Dream Lover, Tennessee River.
How many of you guys call Tennessee River by yourself? You're in the rarity.
Yeah.
All right, because
same with Mountain Music.
Yeah, we tried, and I just like it's naked because I'm used to doing it with 3 or 4 other guys.
Let me show you. Let me show you one that Elmer knows. Now, here's one. Did you? Oh, I got to find Dream Lover for you then, don't I? You don't know Dream? Now, Pretty Woman is not one that lends itself to harmony. Have you ever heard the original? The Roy Orbison original? It does not lend itself to nice harmony. It's a good one-man tune, kind of like Fisherman's Luck.
No, you said good one-man.
Well, no, there's callers that can sing, and then there's callers that do Fisherman's Luck, and it's kind of like yodelers. I feel the same way about yodelers. All right, now here's one. Now this is one Wade did back in the 50s. And anyway, there are several ways to work around this one. This one is just full of harmony stuff that you can play with and have a good time. One of the neat things about doing harmony and working backup with people is to be able to play in the background so that you have a strong enough lead that's taking care of all of the stuff, and then we're doing all the filler stuff in the back. Years ago, and I tell this to callers at caller schools, when Wade got in the music business back in the 1970s, and he's here and it's okay, he got a milestone for this. Wade started a trend in music that nobody had ever done before, because all the old music was nothing but ding, bang, bang, ding. It was good music, bang, ling, ling, fiddle and banjo, but it was just kind of like a rhythm track all the way through. Back in the early 70s, Wade said, there's just holes there that we need things. He started putting these things we now call fills. We didn't have a name for them back then, but now and maybe Wade called them fills back then. I don't know. But now they're called fills.
I call them stuff.
Chases. And so there was all this stuff going on in the background after the lead instruments played, and it added and it completely changed and revolutionized our music industry. You can do the same thing vocally with one that Elmer knows. You ready, Elmer?
Yeah.
Here we go. I'll take our microphone over to Wade.
Oh, you got the words up here too, man. I love it, yeah. Circle every night, I hope and pray a dream lover will come my way. Left out man, pretty hard to ride, and do the left out man will weave the ring, because I want a girl I can call my own. I want a dream lover so I don't have to dream alone.
Hear the chases, and that's when it can add something to it. Harmony, a backup singer only sings when you can add something to what the lead person is doing. Singing the lead with the person that's singing the lead is not adding anything to it. For you guys that do that, just don't do it with me. Let me do one other example here, and I'm going to give the thing back to Elmer and Wade. We'll have some questions. I want to share. Now, here's another one that here's one that's got its own harmony. Remember now, harmony is things that's not the lead. So listen to what's going on. 4 ladies chain the ring. You turn them with an arm around it. You roll away and circle left by 2s. 4 lady gonna roll away. Circle to the left, go around the way. Allen in that corner and you weave the ring. Now, you got to know your music. You got to know your music well enough to know when to hush and let the music work.
Which means you have to be old enough to know who Spike Jones was.
Well, no, I'm not that old. I'm not that old. But you want to listen to your music well enough to know how to use it. You want to be able to use it. If you don't listen to the music well and get a feel for it, you're never going to be able to know when to stop. I watch guys do this. How many of you guys do this when you call? Head square through, and then you run the music up. Show of hands. I know all of you do it. You may as well all raise your hands. I know all of you do it. 99 out of 100 callers do it. You don't want to admit it. It's a whole evening of this. You give a command, drop the music. Give a command, drop the music. Give a command, drop the music. I work with some of the best in the world. Some of the best in the world do this. Don't feel ashamed about it. But if you're going to do this, make it for a reason. Have something musical that's going to go on when you put the music up, so that the dancers actually have something to dance to, rather than just the fact that the music goes up and down. Be careful of that. That being said, I want to do one more. Here's and like I said, when you try to find songs that everybody, you got to find ones that everybody knows that you can do things with. Even Elmer knows this one. It's called Double Shot of My Baby's Love. No. All right, Elmer. Ready? Gospel medley.
Got any old songs?
Gospel medley's as old as it gets. I'll tell you what, if you guys want to hear some really good harmony work, go back way back to early ESP when Elmer and Paul Markham just did a ton of stuff together. And it was some of the neatest harmonics, because Paul Markham is one of the best harmony guys in the business. He can do the tenor, he can do the baritone, and they did some of the neatest singing calls together. If you want to hear good harmony work together, where one guy is truly uplifting and backing up the other guy, listen to that, and that should give you an example of how a true backup or harmony singer really does. You're never at the forefront, and you just prop up the head guy so that you sound good.
We were real young then.
One of them, before you get, as far as listening, and this one thing I want to do it while it's on my mind. There's a movie called Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Oh, yeah. Coming Across That Lake is the finest harmony I've ever heard in my life. It's Billy, let's see, Emmylou Harris, what's her name? Anyway, there's 4 gals in there, and 3 of them are very, very popular. The real one is singing, Alison Krauss is number 2. There's 2 others. One of them sings that low bar. You want to hear the best 4-part harmony you've ever heard in your life. Get a clip from that movie and listen to it. If you can do any one of those parts, you are golden.
I think the other one was Lady Gaga.
No, it wasn't.
Here we go. Here's one everybody knows, and it's got parts. Elmer's got the lead. Gospel medley.
Well, 4 ladies gonna change, turn the girl around, circle around, get her moving around, and then you roll away and circle around. Do a Alabama corner lady weave that ring. Piano can bye, Lord, bye. There's a better home waiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
This song changes to This Little Light of Mine. Goes from May the Circle Be Unbroken to This Little Light of Mine. And there's a neat way you can syncopate This Little Light of Mine. We'll get Elmer on the lead again.
Can you write it down?
Alan and a little that corner girl, they're gonna weed around the ring.
Well, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
You see, you can play, and as long as you're singing parts, as long as you're singing the true part, it all sounds kind of neat. I could have done that exact same thing if I sang the lead. Do it again, Elmer. I'm going to sing the lead with Elmer, and listen how much worse this sounds.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, gonna shine, shine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Now, can you hear the difference? Can you hear the difference with 2 lead sing? And I think Elmer can sing pretty damn good. I think I can sing pretty damn good. Me and Elmer singing lead together, it's not as good as if when he sings one part and I can find a nice harmonic to blend with that. Now the trick is I've got to find that harmonic that blends with both Elmer and Wade. And that's only going to work if Wade is singing either true baritone, bass, tenor, and I sing one of the other parts of the trilogy.
Real bad parts, we got to find somebody that can afford to pay all 3 of them.
Oh, yes. Good point. That's what I got. Your
Very
turn.
good. How about a nice hand for Tony? Thank you. We cut up a lot, but we're just having fun. But I'll tell you the honest truth, folks. I don't have to tell you this, but he's probably one of the best, if not the best, in the business. He can sing any part. the lead, the harmony, whatever. And when you get on the stage with him, you don't have to worry about it. You just sing. And he'll find it, I guarantee you.
Like right between that black and the white key.
Yeah. Was that sort of the way is that sort of what you said?
Kind of. Yeah, kind of.
Anyway, I'm going to turn it back over to Wade. We'd like for you to, if you have some questions or anything you'd like to ask, we may not be able to answer them, but we'll tell you something.
I'll look it up. One thing I will was before you start, and tell me if I'm wrong, you're thinking, but it's so easy for you guys. Wrong. All right. Tony and I would drive from Pensacola to Norfolk singing the same bloody song 4,000 times before it gets down like you want. But singing harmony is, you have to hear it. If you're tone deaf, well, really, I'll take up bowling anyway. So, but finding that harmony part, at least I used to practice driving on the road. I don't care what song was playing. I sang with it. I sing anything but the melody. Anything but. If it hurts, it's wrong. If you can't tell the difference whether it hurts or not, you're wrong. All right? But if somebody's going down the road, and I don't care what the song is, if they're playing a melody song, see if you can harmonize with it. High or low, doesn't matter. Find a harmonic. Now, it's going to sound awful early on, but you get better and better and better. But one thing Tony said that really, really strikes home with me, if you get up with another caller to call or two or whatever, if you can't improve the product, turn your mic off. Or find another part. Because the whole object of backing up someone and working together is to improve the product. All right, you got to make it better.
Whatever you do, though, don't practice your harmony at home, especially if you have a wife or a husband. Because one time, it reminds me, I wasn't singing, but one time I was going to learn to play the banjo, and I took about a week of lessons, and I was in the back room just picking and singing, and my wife comes storming down the hallway, and she said, "Are you sure that you're playing what you're singing?" And I gave up the banjo, so you don't want to give up the harmony singing either. So,
a couple of points that might help a little bit. And this is just little things that I've learned as you go along. For example, if you're going to sing harmony behind somebody, if you're going to sing tenor or whatever, singing a little bit through your nose helps. All right. It lets you sing a little bit quieter, and that nasalness of it will cut through. If you listen to some of your country western songs, and for example, the really good demonstration is an album, a CD by Jimmy Buffett. He does it with a lot of guests singing. He's got Clint Black, he's got Alan Jackson, whatever. You listen to him singing, like if Alan Jackson's singing in the backup harmony, if you listen to it really close, listen to his voice tone. It's not the same one he sings lead with. It's a whole different thing. He sings it so he can improve Buffett's sound and cuts through. Then when he takes the lead, he opens up and sings it with his full diaphragm. All right? And it really makes a difference because it gives you a better sound. The object of the backup harmonist is not to outdo the lead. All right? Although if you listen to some of us get on stage, you'd think it would be. But it's not. It's not out-sing them, sing louder. It's to improve the product. And so singing a little bit nasal helps. Particularly, and I know Tony does it. He does it out of just habit. But Tony sings baritone, sings lead. He sings high. He's got like a 3.5, 4 octave range. So when you have a voice that mellow, that full, if he sings with his full voice at tenor, ain't nobody else going to be heard. All right, so he'll adjust. He'll adjust to improve the product. And as Elmer said, that's why, if I'm on stage with Tony, I don't even look at him. I know he's going to make product better. So you just go sing your song. And that's a nice feeling to get him saying, all right, I don't have to hold back. I can just cut loose and do my thing. And he's always right there. And you need to be one of those guys.
And that's the other thing I meant to say. If you're going to sing lead, really sing the lead. I worked with a guy just recently. Great singer, and he didn't have a lot of confidence in his voice, and he would take the lead, and I'm trying to sing harmony with him, and he'd be singing, and then directly, when it would get to a part where you would normally, like, really, really sing, he would do this. Now, there ain't a caller out there can sing with the microphone this far out, him included. And so then I would have to, like, hush, because even if I sang out here, you can't hear it. And, I kept saying, okay, bring the mic up. Don't be afraid to sing the lead. Be afraid to sing the harmony. If you're going to be afraid to sing something, be afraid of singing the harmony. Then you want to back up. But let that lead shine through. That's the part that shines. The lead singer is the one that shines. The rest of us, we build the lead up so that, as Wade said, at the end of the day, the final product, everybody sounds good at the end of the day. I have a very good friend from across the water. and he's in this room, and I will tell him to his face. I told some folks last night, there ain't a finer caller in the world ever in the world. There ain't a finer caller than Paul Bristow. I don't know if you guys have ever heard Paul call. He does it all. He does hash, and his hash is amazing. I even told Lee Cotman last night, because Lee said, who is that guy up there calling? I said, that's why, by golly, that's Paul Bristow. I said, you should hear him call. His hash is amazing. And vocally, Paul does things with singing calls. It's really, really neat. The problem is Paul is accustomed to working by himself, so Paul tends to work all over the scale. It sounds perfect when he does it. But now when we work together, I have to force him to sing the lead. And I have to make him, and over the years now, we've gotten to where, actually me and Paul and Jerry Story can actually sing 3 parts pretty good together, because Paul can now carry a real strong lead. But he only does it when he works with us, or he works with someone. When he's by himself, then he's free to do all these other things and all the flowers and things that you can do vocally when it's only one person. When it's 2 people, it's very hard to get real flowery. Don't make the mistake too often. I work with guys too that everything is going really good and the caller is singing the lead and I'm backing him up, and then we get to the end of the song and there's a big note at the end, and then that's when the caller decides to just jump up an octave or a half octave, and I'm thinking, shy of having surgery, I can't get above him so be careful. The world needs good, strong lead singers. We don't have enough of them.
Because you brought one exactly the same thing 30 years ago. First time I started working with Jerry Story. Jerry had always worked by himself for like 15 years. And you have to watch it. Now he's one of the best there is. But back then, you never knew what he was going to sing. Because he was a lone wolf. He did it by himself. So you watched his Adam's apple. All right? So you learn those things. You watch him because he's going on singing the lead. If that Adam's apple jumps, he's headed to the third. Take it to the bank, he's going to the third. So what he does, you just come down below and everything. We did a song together called Mexican Love Songs. And halfway through, I'm watching him and there it goes. And so if you listen to the vocal all the way through, we're switching back and forth all the way through that thing. But once you start working with other people, you learn you sacrifice your individuality for the product. You got to. You just do that. Questions, comments? Got this many people in here. Surely somebody's got a question. Right. I got a comment. Go, and we'll get you back next.
Hi, I'm Mike Driscoll from Minnesota. And I'd like to say that 3 guys up here are probably 3 of the most premier, best callers around. They're just kudos to all of you. Oh, and by the way, Tony, come June there, you're going to have to do some more of that Sunday morning singing.
I'm looking forward to that. In the back. Hold on, I'll bring the mic. I feel like, what's her name? Springer.
Hi, Andy from Ottawa. I was just wondering, when you get a group of callers, you got this one guy that sort of, feels like he's sucked on a helium balloon. How do you work with him?
So, Elmer, how do you work with a guy that's sucked on a helium balloon? What do you mean? A guy sings very high? There's some callers that you have to work around. There are callers, now all of us think we sing good and yada yada. Forget all of that. But I think I can work with most anybody. There are a few callers that I really cannot. I sound just, no matter what I do, it sounds bad. There are some callers that learn to sing, especially callers. Here's what happens with some callers. Many times callers don't have confidence and they're afraid to try to hit the notes. Sometimes there are callers that are limited vocally, range wise, and their song may not be in their key. And now fortunately we can change keys, but prior to that, and so they're trying to sing either too low. So rather than sing the note, they sing these harmonic notes in there, and it's neither lead, bass, baritone, tenor, soprano, alto. It's none of those. It's something. Some of those notes that Paul hits every now and then. Yeah. But they're hard to, it's hard to find a harmonic to. And like someone like that, I just let them go and cut the mic off. Well, yeah, we're going to sound bad, but it's only going to be him.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do for him.
I don't have problems with guys singing, so I have guys that try to sing bass, and oh Lord, it's bad. Because there's not, I'm sorry. We're in the South. There ain't a half dozen callers in CALLERLAB that can sing a true bass. There ain't 6 of them, and Virgil Forbes ain't one of them. He thinks he is, but he's not, and nor am I. I think sometimes I am. But there's probably guys that can sing, not guys that can sing low, guys that can sing true bass. And most of us, myself included, can't sing true bass. But there's half a dozen or so that can. But now I can tell you this, a lead and a bass doesn't sound good together. That's not a good harmonic blend. You don't want to get 2 steps off. You can go lead baritone, sounds good. You can go lead tenor, sounds good. Lead bass typically doesn't sound real good, and 2 harmonics typically don't sound real good. Baritone tenor or bass tenor or bass baritone typically don't sound as good as the lead and one or the other. We almost always have to have the lead. Music is arranged so that we can always hear the lead. If you guys want to learn where the lead is in a tune, listen to the bass guitar. Bass guitar plays the lead.
He is the only musician on the whole thing that's never wrong.
So if you want to hear the lead, listen to the lead. And then everything else around that is harmonic. So find a note in one of those other instruments, and you'll be close to sounding okay.
It was a while ago when we do it, May the Circle Be Unbroken. I said, I'm going to go to the bottom. I ain't singing bass because I can't sing bass, but I sing a very low harmonic. And then because on May the Circle Be Unbroken, May the Circle sounds, it kind of helps out the lead. But singing bass ain't my thing.
Comment questions? Oh, come on, this many people. Surely we got something. I mean,
one other thing, let me throw it. Then this is in little things that pop into my mind. If you're going to sing harmonics, it's very difficult to get in sync totally with the lead singer. All right, and so if that's the case, if you're not sure, sometimes I might go say, "May the Circle." I might go, "May the Circle." If you don't know what my pronunciation, the way I want to, what my pronunciation of that phrase is going to be, or where the emphasis line is going to be, wait till the first hard note. Like, for example, the word circle. All right? If Tony doesn't know what I'm going to do, he's not going to say may. He's going to say the word circle. I want may this, and that's where the harmony is going to come. May the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. Come in on the hard notes. That way you know you're wrong. You're not wrong. For example, if you don't know what the first note is, let the bass guitar hit first, then sing, because he's going to be right. Same thing with harmony. If you're not sure when they're going to start, let them start and come in on the hard note. Just little tip things.
Tom. Hi, I'm Tom Crisp, and
from where?
I'm from somewhere in Arizona.
Could you guys give an example of the different parts just alone? Just alone. No, in other words, the bass, the lead. In other words, the harmony.
With music?
Just by itself, and so we get a feel of what it.
Yeah. All right, I'll do one.
Do the lead. Do the lead on anything, and Wade, you come in with the tenor.
Okay.
I'll come in on the baritone.
Okay. Where's Nicky? All right.
You want each one of us to do all 4 parts?
No. I know. All right, here's this. All right, for example, the lead is May the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. But he wants it naked. There's a few that's what he wants. May the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a whatever the words are.
Now, I can't do that because I can only sing the baritone if I hear the tenor. I can't just sing the baritone. I have to physically, now maybe some people can, but I have to physically hear the tenor note in order for me to sing the baritone.
Baritone is the easiest. Yeah. Well, baritone
I can give you a feel of what it would be like. I can make everybody in here sing harmony in 30 seconds. Split the group here and split the group right here. And from right here we'll go, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Row, row, row your boat.
Row, row, row your boat. Row, row, row your boat. Row, row, row your boat.
Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row, row.
Hear the harmony?
Merrily, merrily, merrily.
Now, do you know why that's, Now, do you know why you're singing in harmony? No, you're all singing the lead note, but the neat thing about row, row, row your boat is after the first 8 bars, then if you start on the lead again, it's a harmonic to the note on the second note of the first note of the second 8 bars.
That's why that's gotten so popular.
So there's your harmony. But like I say, I can't just sing a tenor unless I hear the lead, and I can't just sing the baritone unless I cannot. I have to physically hear it. Yeah, you wouldn't know it. Yeah.
But the baritone is the easiest and hardest one to sing.
Yeah.
Because it's only got 2 notes, but
it's
you
the
got to
hardest
find
one
them.
for me to sing.
Yes, you got to find them where it is. Because you got let's see. May the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord. May the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a little in the desert, in the sky, Lord, in the sky. It's very simple, but if you get off, it just screws everything up.
But did you get that song that they were just singing? I figured it'd be out on Blue Star.
One other thing, and I experienced this the other day, and be careful with this when you're working with another caller. If it works well, don't do it with somebody that you don't work with normally if you don't know the phrasing. Because here's what happened. I'm working with a guy, and I'm singing, and as I give the command, Alaman left, then this caller repeats it. And I was saying, Alaman left, do-shi-do, Alaman, and it really, I guess perhaps he thought it sounded really, really good. But it really, really didn't. Because we didn't phrase things right. There's callers that say Alaman left. There's callers that say left Alamand. There are callers that say right and left grand. There are callers that say grando right and left. And if it's not perfect, it's just like when we were doing the one where we did the 2 songs together, the Play Me Some Rag and stuff. If the words aren't perfect, you're gonna fall on your face. The same is true with that. Be careful when you do this because you don't want to jump on it. Because I said Alaman left, and he come in Alaman left, and he's like 3/4 of 17 decibels louder than me, in some god awful high note that was neither tenor. It could have been somewhere of a cross between soprano and surgery. But it surely wasn't a harmonic blend. It was just loud and it was just high. And like I say, that's been my experience with guys when I work with someone and they say, okay, I'll do the harmony. I'm thinking, oh God, because I know their chances are all you're going to do is sing high, and singing high doesn't always blend, nor does singing low. I trust Wade. Wade tells me he's going to go low. I'm okay with that. I can follow Wade because I know what Wade can sing, and I know how Wade phrases and styles a song, and I can follow him having never done a song with him. Typically, I could do that with Elmer because we've worked enough over the years that vocally I know his strengths and where he's going to go and whether he's going to say Alaman left or left Alaman so that I can blend with him. If you don't know that, be careful.
Might I add to that, be willing to sacrifice your own way of doing things. For example, you guys here, Tony or Junior or Ken Bauer or Shoemake, all of us do mountain music. And they might do it 5 different ways. When we do it together, I promise you, when you hit the Alaman left, weave the ring, play me some mountain music, you'll go swing and every single one of us, because that's the way we do it. It makes the product sound right. I may say swing a little girl around, it don't matter. When you're doing it together, you all come together on a common ground because the product's got to be good.
There's one other thing, too, about harmonies. When you get 4 or 5 guys on the stage, keep in mind that volume does not make harmony. I'm honest.
Oh, you remember the good old Mid-America days. We'd have 13 of us on stage, and every one of us was trying to be louder and better than the one before us. Oh, baby. It was bad. Questions, comments? Yes, sir, in the backs. Hello, my name is Scott Byers, and I am from somewhere on the West Coast.
Scott Byers from Sacramento, California. Routinely, you guys work with people from all over the country. You get up, for example, like at our local festival Roundup, and you'll get up there, and invariably, they will have programmed 2, maybe even 3 callers that have no concept of harmony. And turning off your microphone is not going to help. By the way, I do have to tell you that you and I sound really well on one of your singing calls. So,
Marizzi does.
No, he's right. Oftentimes, and let me tell you this, if you get put in that position where you're thrown up on a stage with three guys that you have not worked with, go and pick a standard. Don't come out and pick whatever the newest rhythm or the newest ESP or whatever. Pick a standard, mountain music, Dream Love, or something that everybody knows. At least you can make a stab at it.
Yeah, gospel tunes are always safe.
Yeah, Don Beck from some little small place up north of heaven.
South of Cape Cod, out in the ocean. One of the things that I found when you get thrust on a stage with somebody that, can I do a tip with you, or will you do a tip with me, and you have no idea what he's doing and how to do it. There's a record I used to pull out regularly because it was very popular and used a lot on rhythm, Sail Away. That has a chorus sing a lot of stuff. So I know he's going to sing it the way they sing it on the record. And it's got built-in harmony, and you know the phrasing he's going to use on the singing part. And that gives you a chance to have a better shot at it.
That's smart. It also gives you I'm sorry, bud. It also gives you an opportunity if you can sing baritone. That's a perfect song to sing baritone with because it's got female vocals in it that are singing alto. And an alto baritone blend is very, very nice. Yes?
What else? Speak now or forget it.
Up. Sir Paul of Bristow from Nottingham.
Close enough. Just something which I have encountered from time to time. When you work with another caller, you tend to sometimes be making frantic choices for music. The question comes across, do you know so-and-so? And you turn around and say, yes. And they put the record on, and you're waiting for it to start up, and they suddenly say, sides, face, grand, square. And you think, what? Because my version starts with 4 ladies chain across and chain back home again. It's a small point, but there will be little differences like that where really can expose your individuality.
You're best off if you ask ahead of time, how do you do this?
I keep a whole folder on my computer of songs that are like stuff to work together. I got one whole section of songs is like cluster songs. The old standards.
And that's a good thing for everybody to do. Create a folder on if you call a laptop, if you call by record, put a little group of records together.
Rubber band around them.
A rubber band or whatever. And so if you go work with somebody, say, here's about 8 or 10 tunes. Which one do you know the best?
And another problem you might run into is one of the ones that we all used to do, we work all we had because it had such great parts was Come to Me. Everybody got accustomed to doing the hi-hat Come to Me. Well, then Wade redid Come to Me and rearranged it. Because it happened to me before, you did it before I ever had it, and we got on stage, and there's about 4 of us, and Wade said, hey, let's do Come to Me. I'm thinking, Come to Me. And we put it, it was Wade's version, which is a great version, but
the ending
is different. The ending is different. So be careful.
Yes.
And also be careful, guys, if you're working with, it's like Paul said, if you should happen to know all the lyrics of a song, if they're not on the regular cue sheet, give the other caller a heads up.
And I had to admit, sometimes you don't tell them because it's just for devilish pleasure. I have to be honest.
I have done that. All right. Well, otherwise you get to go early.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Hold on. Hi, my name's Bunny.
Susan Morris from the Seattle, Washington area. I've shied away from singing a lot of duets or with other callers, particularly male callers, because egos. And my husband made a comment a couple weeks ago that if I sing with another male caller, that if it's good, it's a benefit to him, but it's a negative to me. If it's neutral, it's neutral for both of us, but if it's bad, it's neutral for him, but a big negative to me.
I'm not sure I agree with that. Yeah.
I work with Deborah a lot, and man, she is just awesome to sing with. And I think the two of us, no matter which way it goes, if the two of you sing together and you sound good, both of you win.
Yeah,
now, if the two of you sound bad, he loses because you're prettier.
That's right. Now, you say that, but that's true. Now, if you have a real prejudiced audience, maybe you both lose. But most of the part, he looks bad because he should have helped you. And that's just a fact.
Yeah. Hi, my name's Mike Driscoll. I have another question.
I actually got a comment. Dee Dee Doherty and I grew up in the same area, and so we used to do a lot of stuff together, and it was really good stuff. And it was, like I said, and it was just a good combination.
Are we still talking about square dancing?
Oh, well, one time she came and she sat on my lap at a square dance, and she said, "Mike, is there anything you would like to do with me?"
I would quit while you're not even ahead.
Yeah.
Dee Dee's, you're going to counter people. Dee Dee is she's an anomaly, all right? Because I never know what she's going to sing. So the rule is when you sing with, particularly a female that does a lot of harmonics, I'm going to sing. She'll find the place to get in there. And I just do, because if you pre-plan ahead, and because Dee Dee's one of those, she works 99% of the time by herself. She has her own styling, with a voice that's not going to hit some of those really, really super high notes, but she can go out here. So I say, I'm going to sing a song. You do whatever floats your boat. And it normally works out pretty good, but she calls well, right? If you're working with someone that doesn't know as a rule, you need to find out. People go up and say, well, how do I find out? Ask. Hello? Ask. Are you going to sing the tenor? Are you going to sing the lead? What are you going to do? If you find somebody that you think might be a little weak, say, could you sing the lead? Just sing the melody and I'll find a way around you. If they say no, then my phone goes off.
Questions? Yes, sir. Hold on. Hello, my name's Henry. I'll be your server.
My name's Henry Grissett from Los Angeles, California. Wondering, how do you keep someone who has a problem if they'll start off with the lead part. If you start off harmonizing with them, then they start chasing you. How do you avoid that?
Suggest they practice.
Yeah, it's his question, and that's a common problem when you try to sing a harmonic with somebody and they tend to jump and follow your lead. The only thing you can do is go back to the lead to bring them back down to the lead. At least that's what I do. I go back to the lead so they get the part again. And usually if they're having a problem, I try to get away from them so that if they hear me, it's going to be through the speaker and not from me being close to them. So if I were singing with Elmer here and we were having an issue and the speakers were over there, I would go back over here to sing the part and get him back on the lead and work around it from there.
Also, back off if you're the lead singer and let them carry. They'll hear more of them and not so much of you, and then maybe they'll stay where they're supposed to be. And that way the unison won't hurt you so bad. It's kind of like skydiving. You only need a parachute if you want to do it twice. All right, guys, thank y'all. We're time up. Thank Tony Oxendine, Elmer Sheffield. Thank y'all for coming, guys.